Let's test the S23 Ultra in low light. Good day, you beautiful people. Welcome to LAZADA's Tech, where we do tech in your life in style. And we're finally doing it. We're testing out the cameras of the Samsung S23 Ultra, but in the dark. But before we get into all of that, you may have noticed my new favorite case. This video sponsor is Casetify, and if you don't already know them, they make the nicest, cutest cases. But they're not just cute. These cases ensure that your phones are protected all the time. So especially for big phones like this and people who have tiny butter hands like me, they have the Impact and the Ultra Impact cases, which is powered by Casetify's EcoShock Impact Absorption technology. That's up to 5 times military standards and up to 11.5 feet of drop protection. Also, if you notice, they have that raised bezel there so that you don't scratch that nice big screen. You can also customize these cases. For example, mine has my literal name on it. I love it. Casetify has always brought looks and function to the game, and they also have other cute accessories like phone straps and screen protectors. For anyone who's ever asked me where to find the cutest cases, Casetify is one of my go-tos. Check them out, you guys. I'll link down below. Right, back to our video. So we all know that when the Samsung S23 Ultra launched, they talked a lot about nightography. This phone's main shooter is a 200 megapixel camera. There's a 12 megapixel wide, a 10 megapixel telephoto, and a 10 megapixel periscope lens. On the front-facing camera, this phone features a 12 megapixel selfie shooter. And Samsung has been touting AI and bettering their camera performance. They specifically emphasize better night selfies, better night selfie videos. Right, so quick story time. I wasn't actually gonna do this video, except I went on a night out, and as we do, I was taking photos and posting them, and I was pretty impressed with the performance of this phone. Specifically, it was these two mirror shots that we took earlier on in the night, because look at how bright and well lit these photos look, when in reality, the place we were at looked this dark. These photos were honestly mind-blowing, for lack of a better term. I tried selfieing, standing where I shot that same exact video, and this is how they turned out. Considering that these were lit by a candle, these turned out pretty well. Of course, they're not the sharpest, and of course, I did take time to be still to take the photos, but these were pretty impressive output. Again, even when stuff was going down, cue the people who will not be still for a photo, you can see how solid the neon light in the background looks. Since I technically wasn't testing out the cameras of this phone when I took those previous shots, and so I decided to take these cameras out for a spin in low light scenarios where you'd usually want to shoot photos and selfies. Yes, I partied with a phone. I did all this to see just how well these cameras will fare in these very real life scenarios. Photos generally did well on different modes and even on selfies, except for when everything was against the light, though that's to be expected. That's generally how photos work. But yeah, despite the dim lights, the crazy lights, everything looked good, even on portrait modes. For a little comparison, this is side by side with photos taken with the Samsung Z Flip 4, one of Samsung's latest foldables from last year. Now, the Z Flip 4 doesn't have bad cameras. They actually have good cameras. It's just that they don't have as good cameras as the S23 Ultra. So this is a video, a front-facing video in a bar nonetheless. We have to go out to test out the phones. This is the only reason why we're going out. Test out the phones. And because of Mary.
It's Mary's birthday. That's primarily the reason, Isa.
Primarily the reason.
Some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
The other thing that really impressed me was how good the portrait mode was on low light. Love it!
Happy birthday to me!
Yeah! It was a great evening celebrating a friend's birthday, testing out phones, and the night was very, very young, but we are not, so... Well, we head off, but not after finding some food. Now, I will be muting this video because I had no business vlogging at this point, but as you can see, this is pretty decent camera performance for vlogging in the dark, in a car, at what time of the night. I was all in all impressed with the low light performance of the Samsung S23 Ultra, especially in this very challenging scenario. At this point, I think we can conclude that these are great cameras for low light. They're not perfect, but I dare say they're one of the best out there. But I now wanted to see how these cameras would have performed in just like low light scenarios without all the flashing, crazy, dancing lights and things. A predictable scene would have been a nightscape, which I did, but then I decided to turn the camera around for some selfies, and this is what it looked like on normal mode. But guys, this is where it gets interesting. I turned on the night mode, and honestly it gets crazier because it was pitch black in my room with only light source, the window with faraway buildings, and this is what photos looked like when I shot them on night mode. Just to point out that the night mode doesn't seem to work with the 10 times and the 100 times zoom photos, which you're looking at right now, but I'm not gonna argue with these results because these are still mind-blowing at wide 1x and 3x. Honestly, I just couldn't believe how bright the photos look, so I had to take this photo all over again in my dark room.
You're chilling in the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you get.
Now, these next clips are actually from a vlog test that's coming up soon, I promise, and I'll link it once it's up. But I did randomly chance upon this really nice light exhibit that I thought would be such a great way to test out the low light on these cameras, and so here are those shots. Again, this will be part of a whole video that's a vlog test, and check that video out soon.
You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 oh.
And that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you think the Samsung S23 Ultra performed. Suffice to say that Samsung was not kidding around when it comes to low light performance. I also now know which phone to grab if and when I go out with friends next. Right, if you want to see how I use my tech on a daily basis, find me online. That's LAZADA_ on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Until next time.